Can you take us to a government election promise? Of course, this is the First Home Buyers Guarantee Scheme. Changes begin in October. What's changing? What does this mean for first home buyers? And what do you reckon it's going to do to prices in the lower end of the housing market, which is already pretty expensive, let's be honest?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Albanese government's home guarantee scheme has been fantastic. It's helped over 230,000 people get into the property market. And there's two components to it. You have one component which helps people who are first home buyers. All they need is a 5% deposit and the federal government will guarantee the rest of their deposit. And then the other part of the scheme, it targets single parents where they only need a 2% deposit and the federal government will guarantee the rest of the deposit. So that scheme's been working really well. And although the 2% single parent scheme is not changing, the 5% first home buyer scheme is going under major changes for the better from 1st of October. So the major things that are changing, the first is that the annual cap on places available is being removed. So whoever applies, they'll be able to get a spot if they qualify. They're not going to miss out due to caps. The second is that the government's removing the income test. So it doesn't matter if you're earning $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year, you'll be able to apply for the scheme. And the third is that they're increasing the maximum property price that you can buy as a first home buyer under the scheme. And this will depend on where you live around the country. But taking Sydney, for example, the current cap is up to $900,000 to be eligible for the scheme. But from 1st of October, that's increasing to $1.5 million. And look, overall, I think it's great. It'll allow more people to get into the property market. But on the other hand, we do need to be careful because it does add extra risk to the market, because we have people on these wafer-thin deposits who are able to buy into the property market who otherwise probably wouldn't have been able to. And if times turn bad and we see drops in the property market like we did a few years ago, then we could have a situation where these first home buyers and single parents have what we call negative equity. And that's where their loan balances are actually higher than the value of their properties. But with the changes overall, what's going to happen to the property market is that supply is the same with the number of properties available, but demand will go up. So I think that this will actually push property prices even higher. And so people should look at the scheme if they're a single parent or first home buyer, but go into it with your eyes open, do all your research, because if the property market changes, if your personal circumstances change and you lose your job, for example, what was meant to be a really great thing in being able to buy a property could turn into a financial disaster.
That is a really good point. I think a couple of politicians on the crossbench have raised that as well.